Hi, everybody. Welcome to Stephen Follows Instructions. I'm Stephen Downs. Go Jays. And today, the instructions that we'll be following are instructions on how to set up my own personal VPN. So let's get to it. So I'll just set this up. Here we go. So that's my screen. Say hello to this camel. This camel, by the way, is from Steve Irwin's Australian Zoo. Notice the foam on its mouth. I didn't know that that was significant until I saw a film, an Australian film called Tracks. Excellent film. I recommend it. And anyhow, that was a long time ago. 2001. I took that photo. So 20 years ago. 20 years ago, I made that trek into Australia toward, was it 2001 or 2004 maybe? Yeah, I think it was 2004. Nonetheless, long time ago. Anyhow, so here's what we're up to. I got an email from my colleague Norm, a thing quoting a New York Times article. Now, the Times, of course, is behind a paywall, but the Wirecutter, I guess, isn't. Oh, that's cool. I'll have to come back to that at some point. Seems like it just allowed me in. Anyhow, so the idea here is that I can create my own VPN. VPN stands for Virtual Private Network, and it's a way of securing your internet access so that it's all encrypted between your computer and the internet. And that makes it safer, not completely safe, but much, much safer to use things like wireless networks, Wi-Fi, whatever, where people might be spying on you. VPN we use automatically. I can't access my work without using the work VPN. I pay a regular subscription to Mozilla VPN, but that's mostly because I support Mozilla and not so much because I use their VPN. Another thing about VPN is that you can spoof your location. So wherever your VPN is, that's what's reported as the origin of your request. So if your VPN is in the United States, online services think that you're making the request from the United States. We're going to test that at the end of this. Anyhow, so let's go to follow the instructions listed on the Algo website. So here's the Algo website, and you'll notice it's GitHub. So all the code is here, but at the bottom of this, we should be seeing some instructions. So here are the features of Algo, and I'll just make that right screen a bit bigger so you can see. Here are the features, types of encryption, etc., etc., etc. Anti-features. Does not install Tor, OpenVPN, or other risky services. Does not depend on TLS, etc. Does not claim to provide anonymity or censorship avoidance. Right. So that's good. So it's a VPN. It's not magic. So the easy way to get an Algo server running is to run it on your local system or from Google Cloud Shell and let it set up a new, emphasis on new, virtual machine in the cloud for you. So set up an account on a cloud hosting provider. Also supports a bunch of other things. DigitalOcean, Lightsail, Amazon, Microsoft Azure, Google Compute Engine, Google Cloud Shell. Let me just check that out, what that means. Oh, Google Cloud Shell is but don't wish, you can use the free. See, that sounds complicated. Start an instance of Cloud Shell in your browser. Okay, I think let's, all right, here are the instructions. Set up an account on a cloud hosting provider. Okay, I have accounts on various things, including DigitalOcean. So here's DigitalOcean. I'll log in. Okay, I'm logged in. Looks like I owe them a little bit of money. Okay, so I have an already running droplet, which has been a bit of a disaster area. That's from some of our previous Stephen Follows instructions. I have not given up on that particular project. That's the project to get the OERU set up and running. I still haven't succeeded, but we'll come back to that at some point in the future. Okay, so next, get a copy of Algo. The Algo script will be installed on your local system. So, do they mean my computer? Or from get a copy of Algo. Okay, well let's assume that it means my local system. I will need something to run on my local system for a VPN to work. So, okay. There are two ways to get a copy, either download and unzip or run the command git clone. I'm going to do the second. I'm going to use Visual Studio Code to do this. So I'm going to open a new folder. I'm going to put it in code projects because that's where I put all my code projects, which is on D, so I'm not backing it up or anything. Is it on D? Oh, where do I put it these days? It's not certainly not on C. Is it on E? No. Oh, come on, Stephen. Where is it? Must be in here. No. Huh. Well, I certainly... Oh, there it is. Duh. Alright, I'm going to create a new directory, new folder, called Algo. And I'll go into that. So there it is. And select the folder. Alright. So here we are. Now I'm going to open a terminal. So again, the way Visual Studio Code works, you have all your directories on the left-hand side. Here at the top is where you can edit the content of your files, and down here is the terminal where you can run commands. So it's a lovely piece of work. It's made by Microsoft, and I use it for all my code projects. So, alright, so we're going to run the command git clone to create a directory named Algo containing the Algo scripts. So I'll probably have a subdirectory of Algo also called Algo. I don't care. That's fine. So here we go. Well, that's not fine. I don't want to do that. So I think what I'll do is I'll delete that directory. I think I can just delete it right here, right? So let's open folder, code projects, right? Select folder. And now here's my directory over here called projects. So, and here's Algo. I'm going to delete Algo. And yes. And the reason why is now when I run the git command from this code project, it'll just simply create the Algo directory below it, and then I'll just select that. So you have to have Git already installed on your computer. I do have Git already installed in your computer, but if you don't, this is a step that they've left out. So let's run this. Alright, now you see it's created the Algo directory. So what I'm going to do is File, Open Folder, Code Projects, Algo, and I'll select that folder. And now I'm working with that folder specifically. I'll reopen the terminal, and there we go. So I'm all set to go. Alright, so I've got the code. What's next? Install Algo's core dependencies. Algo requires that Python 3.6 or later and at least one supporting package are installed on your system. So Mac OS, nope. Linux, nope. Windows. Use the Windows subsystem for Linux to create your own copy of Ubuntu running under Windows from which to install and run Algo. Oh, for God's sakes. You could have told me that before all of this. So, why is that? Does Python not run on Windows? Sure it does. Let's look here. Let's come back here. Python 3. Oh, and I got the Microsoft Store. Oh. Python 3.9. Okay. What do I want to do? Alright, let's try running Windows Subsystem for Linux. Now I actually have Windows Subsystem for Linux installed, and it's somewhere. I think I might actually have to go into the all Windows, PowerShell, Windows System. It's somewhere. I'm pretty sure I have this. Let's, okay, so we're going to have to do some looking up. Boy, that's a real annoying thing here. Is Windows subsystem for Windows. See the Windows documentation. Okay. Oh, deploy from Windows. The Algo script can't be run directly from Windows. That's what you should have said here. Or at the very least, here. Right? Okay. But you can use Windows Subsystem for Linux. Okay, so I have that open settings. Okay, so let's do that. We'll open settings. So I always forget where to open it. Oh, yeah, you can't really see that, can you? So let's just close this a bit. There we go. And I'll just center that a bit on the screen. I don't know why it sort of loses its thing. So like my Windows, I put my Windows Start up into the upper right. So there it is. I'll open Windows Settings. All right. So here's Settings. Now what? Update and Security. Update and Security. All right. For developers, option to the left. Okay. Toggle the developer mode options. I might already have that. Oh, developer mode on. That's fine. I'm okay with that. I live dangerously. And accept any warnings. Okay, wait a minute for Windows to install. It will eventually let you know that a restart may be required to take effect. Ignore that for now. Okay. Next, to install the Windows, the actual Linux subsystem, you have to jump over to Control Panel and do the following. Have we waited long enough for anything to happen in the background? Let's suppose we have. So we'll just minimize this. We probably won't need it. Now, Windows, Settings, Control Panel. Yeah, where is the control? I can never remember where the control panel is. Isn't that just it? No. Yeah. Let's just go with Control Panel. Control Panel. There we go. Haven't been in that for a while. Okay, so that's the sort of thing that could mess you up a bit. But I worked my way through that. Okay, so do the following. Click on Programs. And then turn Windows features on and off. On or off. Okay. Scroll down and check Windows subsystems for Linux. Windows subsystem for Linux. Yeah, it is checked. Okay. I knew I had it. Restart Windows. Well, it's already restarted, and then it's already installed, so I don't need to restart. But you would have to restart if you were just checking it for the first time. And then install Ubuntu 18.04 LTS from the Windows Store. Helpfully provides a link. Don't need that. Free get. I might actually have it. Oh yeah, Ubuntu right there. Duh. So I would install this. So this might be a different one, a different version. I'm not sure. Let's open this up. Ubuntu 20.04.1, which is actually more recent than this. So I'm going to stay with the more recent one. Well, okay, here's 1804.LTS. Now, where does that show up in here, I wonder? Maybe under U for Ubuntu? Yeah. Here we go. So this is Ubuntu. So actually I have two versions of Ubuntu now I could launch. This one was 20.04. Let's just change. I'm going to change this in here. So 20.04, right? So let's just come back here. And more. All I want to do is change the name of it here. App settings. No. All right. Installing this may take a few minutes. Please create a default Ubuntu account. It's always going to be downs. Okay, so you haven't seen that, right? Yeah, because you can't see me at all. Maybe I'll just give myself a pip at the lower left-hand corner. All right. Installation successful. Good. So I'll close off the other version of Ubuntu. We don't need that. We've got this one, which is precisely the one that they specified. Alright, so let's go back and see if they have more instructions for me. Backspace. Okay. Run. Oops. Backspace again. Just some slowness here. Okay. Install Algo. Okay, so now we're doing it here in this Ubuntu. You need to follow these. Okay, these instructions. CD. Okay. You should not install Algo in the mount/C directory. Okay. So where am I now? PWD home downs. Okay, CD. I'm still in home downs. Okay, so that was utterly, I have no idea why, but okay. Now UMask 002, that's new to me, so I'm just going to see what that does. Controls the default permissions of newly created files. Okay, so UMask are usually 002 or 0022 to restrict write permissions by others or groups and others. Alright, so that seems like a wise precaution. Now I'm the only one who ever uses this system, but you know, if I had an intruder, I don't want an intruder then setting up a VPN from my system. Alright, sudo apt update. Yeah, it's just one line here, but it's going to, I wonder if I can make this bigger. No, but let's run this. And I'm going to have to run my... Okay. So while we're doing that, let's see if I can't make my text bigger. That's for you guys so that you can see it a bit better on this screen. It's not very... Oops. Oh, it's still installing stuff there. Size. No, let's... Oh. Oh, that's just going to allow me to make my window bigger, but it's not going to make my text bigger. I don't know if there's a way to make it bigger. Should be. It's your standard Windows run window, but oh well. Okay, 662 packages can be updated. Okay. Run apt list. I'm not going to worry about that for now. If I was going to be using this in production in any way, I'd almost certainly want to update all of these, but I'm just going to skip that and hope it doesn't bite me. So I'll run the next command. Sudo apt install Python 3 virtual environment. That's probably the thing that won't run on Windows, is the virtual environment. Okay, so it's doing that. I don't need the Microsoft Store anymore. Get a trail of bits. That's funny. Algo. That's also new to me. So let's just, while it's installing, let's see what that is. Trail of Bits has helped secure the world's most targeted organizations and products. Oh, I see. It's the account. It's a company. It's the company that makes this. All right. Good enough. Now I know. So, how's our environment doing? We're all set. Good. So now we're back to cloning Algo. Copy. Phew, excuse me. All right. So that's done, and then CD Algo, and there it is. You can't really see that, but there it is. The blue on black, lovely. Now you can continue by following the README from the 4th step to deploy your Algo server. All right. Okay, so I guess I am running my server on the local machine. We'll see how that goes. Okay, install Algo's remaining dependencies, step 4. So, in the terminal window, CD into the Algo master or Algo, and then run this. Okay, so this is going to install a bunch of things into using Python. Okay, it's going to create the virtual environment, it looks like. Start it up, build it from this source, and then install some things. All right, let's see what that looks like. Why can't I just paste that? Maybe it didn't copy properly. Let's try that again. Copy. Paste. There we go. By paste, what I did there is a right click. This might break because I don't see why I'm getting these angle brackets, but let's try it. Okay, already using interpreter. Also creating executable. All right. And environment. Okay, well that looks like it's running everything. So, downloading a bunch of things. File lock, zip, typing extensions, Ansible, which is C. So it's downloading a C compiler, I think. That's what it looks like. So there's a whole bunch of stuff being downloaded here. So I think I'd really have to trust this company to use this for anything. But if it's all open source, all this stuff, well, I think all of this stuff is going to be open source as well. So, Jinja 2. Let's just look at Jinja 2 while that's doing this thing. Jinja 2. Right, fast, extensible templating engine. Okay. And it's open source, BSD license. Okay, so that's one thing. What else? Cryptography, markup safe, Ansible, NetADDR for net address, PyYAML, yet another markup language. Okay, successfully built Ansible. Now I'm saying that's C, but maybe that's just an old memory creeping in. Ansible is, it's a Red Hat product. Open source community product sponsored by Red Hat. It's the simplest way to automate IT. Really? Okay. So that's pretty cool. All right. Come back, installing a bunch more packages. successfully installed, and we have a prompt again. So lovely. On Fedora, add the option. We don't need to add the option. Set your configuration options. Okay, open the file config.cfg in your favorite text editor. Alright, so we're going to have to do this. So we can't be doing this using, that's part of the problem with using a virtual environment like this. We can't be using Visual Studio Code, or more accurately, there's a long involved process. So boy, I think I'm going to go, I want to make this easier. So I'm going to create a new source just for now. It's going to be a video, no, it's going to be a window capture. And I'm going to create a new window capture. I'm going to call it terminal. So this is temporary. I probably won't use this again. Properties for terminal. There, right. So good. So I'll hit OK. And now, just for this, there we go. That'll make things a bit easier because I can make things large for you. Even if I can't make them large on my screen, I can make them large for you. There we go. So, all right. So here we are. But I think I don't want to use that here so much as I want to use it in a different view. So I'm going to create a different view, which I'll call terminal. Okay. Okay. To the right screen with pip. I'll remove this. No, I just want to remove. Oh right, I'll just remove this here. Yes. Okay, so now we're back here, but now I've created a new window. Let's look at the instructions again. Specify the users you wish to create in the users list. Create a unique user for each device you plan to connect to your VPN. So if you want to add or delete users later, you must select yes. Do you want to retain PKI, retain the keys? All right. So we'll do that. So let's come back to You can see this in the Algo directory. Run Algo and follow the instructions. There are several optional features, none of which are required for a fully functional. All right, that's it. Okay. All right, so let's run the server then. In the Algo directory, run /algo. So let's do that in the terminal. Back into my screen here, and we'll go to that website. I'm logged in already. So, so I'm going to generate a new token. I'm going to call it Algo. Read, write, generate token. And copy. Okay. I may have to remove that token later, but okay. May have to. I will have to. All right, so we'll go back now to here. back, and we'll just minimize this one, yeah, and come back to the instructions, start the deployment. That's it. You'll get a message below when the server deployment process completes. Oh, I might not even need to have Windows Subsystem for Linux after. I'm just using that to run the software that installs the VPN server on DigitalOcean for me. So take note of the P12 user certificate password and the CA key in case you need them later, as they will only be displayed at this time. The P12, so I'm not sure what that means, but let's have a look here. I think it's this. So I'm just going to copy. I might actually generate a different token here for and run it again at some point, but yeah. So I'm just going to save that token, save as DigitalOcean token. All right. Yeah. Okay, let's see now if... No, it's still configuring the server and installing running software, I guess. It's sort of stuck on this... So, still waiting. Let's read ahead a little bit while we're waiting for it. Hopefully it'll actually do something and my video doesn't end here with it never finishing. Okay, so Android devices. So Android is the that's what I use for my phone. WireGuard is used to provide VPN services on Windows. Also generates a WireGuard configuration file, username.conf, etc. So you would install the WireGuard VPN client and then import the generated WireGuard/username.conf file to your device and then set up a new connection. Okay, that's a bit vague. Let's, while it's doing this thing here, let's see how it's going here. Why don't we install the WireGuard VPN client while we wait? So here's WireGuard for Windows. Download the Windows installer. Save file. Alright, so it's saved. There it is. We'll run the installer. Preparing to install. I mean, we might as well use the wait time productively, right? And okay. So, WireGuard is installed. Import tunnels from file or log. Add tunnel. Import tunnels from file. Okay, so let's go back to the instructions now and see if they make more sense. Okay, so Algo generates a WireGuard configuration file for each user defined in config. So you would import the generated WireGuard username file to your device and then set up a new connection with it. So let's assume that this thing is going to finish. Nice. It's not because of the computer, right? This is what I'm running this on. It's an Alienware and it's got the maximum, well, not the maximum RAM, but it's got a lot of RAM. It's got a graphics display adapter. What do you call those things? There's a special name for them. It's a very powerful computer. I can do a whole bunch of stuff on this computer. I wish I could remember on, just like reel off a bunch of specs, but my mind doesn't work that way. So we're still waiting for this. So let's see. It bothers me now that we're still waiting. All right, here we go. So I'm looking at my DigitalOcean Algo droplet here. So here's the bandwidth that it's using, and the nice little bit of usability is that it bolds the text there. Here's the CPU usage. Here's the disk I/O. And I assume all of this is in real time. I think it'll probably bump it up. So stuff is happening in this droplet. So I guess things are still happening. I might have to just leave this and come back for a part 2 because we're waiting now for a while. So I think that's what I'm gonna do. It's almost lunchtime for me anyways. I think that I'm just gonna let this run, and I'll let it run for as long as it takes, I guess. And once it finishes, if it ever finishes, then we'll do a part 2. So, yeah, that's the best I can do for now. That's pretty hilarious. It would be nice if there was a warning here. Whoops, not this screen. A warning here, maybe right here. Right here. That this is going to take a long time. These are the optional features. Right, yeah, okay, deployment from Ansible, all the optional. Okay, so that's really cool. So Ansible actually does, so it sets up cloud environments for you. That's awesome. I love that. I mean, I want to learn more about Ansible now. So Ansible is simple. I bet you it's not simple, but automation platform that anyone can use. Well, we're using it, but it doesn't seem to be finishing. How Ansible works. So SSH keys are your friends. Manage your inventory using Ansible for ad hoc parallel task execution. Host web servers roles. And of course you can extend it. Modules to support a variety of integrations. So Atlassian, Windows, Google Cloud, more integrations. Virtualization, cloud. They keep not saying DigitalOcean here, but we just saw it work with DigitalOcean. Integration, security. So, yeah. Use cases: provisioning, configuration, app deployment, continuous delivery, network automation, security automation, orchestration, endpoint production. Containers, all container integrations. Don't know what that means. Kubernetes. Oh, it costs money. Pricing. Contact us for pricing. So maybe this isn't, well, it said this is something anyone can use, so is it anyone can use it, or anyone who pays them can use it? I don't know. Ansible loves the repetitive work your people hate. Yeah. Well, this was a one-time kind of thing for me, but let's see how that. I'm Stephen Downs. Thanks for joining me on this episode of Stephen Follows Instructions. It went pretty well until this step kind of stalled on us. I'll see you again with either part 2 of this or something else. Talk to you all later.